because they do not have the honorific third person singular pronoun our instead of avan. So the researcher, the translator has decided to make use of the SL pronoun avan in its transliteration. So I have taken this decision. Avan, I can use avan in its transliterated form in the translation itself. And then the TL text also, and it may be appended with a footnote. If we need, we can give a footnote. Then I quote from the SL text. பொதுவாக எங்கள் கடித போக்குவரத்து ஆங்கிலத்தில் இருப்பதனால்
SL is source language, TL is target language.
பொதுவாக எங்கள் கடித போக்குவரத்து ஆங்கிலத்தில் இருப்பதனால் நாங்கள் ஒருவரை ஒருவர் ஒருமையில் அழைத்துக் கொள்கிறோமா மரியாதை பன்மையில் அழைத்துக் கொள்கிறோம், because the author himself has given the explanation for such hurdles. ஒரு மரியாதை பன்மையில் அழைத்துக் கொள்கிறோமா என்று புரிந்து கொள்ள முடியாது. Since I have translated this passage as, since we generally communicate in English in our letter correspondence, it cannot be understood whether we address each other in singular or in honorific plural. The translation is mine. In the above SL passage, the translator's problem itself has been discussed by the SL author. He has represented clearly the disparity between the SL and TL in the use of pronouns. This is not only a problem to the translator translating from Tamil to English, but also for the translators who undertake translation from a source language which is genetically different from the target language. Because Tamil is one of the Dravidian languages, whereas English is one of the Indo-European languages. Since no two languages are similar in form and structure, there is no one-to-one correspondence between the two languages. The next point is the use of honorific plural in the SL. If we translate the SL pronoun ungalukku as you, the TL reader may fail to perceive the nuances of the Tamil language and the cultural aspect that there is also a use of honorific plural neengal to refer a single person. Even if we are calling a single person, if it is an honorific usage, we have to say neengal if he is a senior person to us. So the translator has made it clear by giving a brief hint as honorific plural. So in the translation itself, within brackets I have marked as honorific plural. When I translate this ungalukku as you, I have given within brackets honorific plural. Or the hint may be given in the form of a footnote as said earlier. The SL author elaborates on this point of confusion in the use of SL pronouns further. The heroine of the novel Bhairavi asks Kannan, உங்களுக்கே கூட சாத்தியமில்லை என்றாயே, எனக்கு சாத்தியமில்லை என்பதை உனக்கு என்பதற்கு பதிலாக உங்களுக்கு என்று மரியாதையாக சொல்கிறாயா, அல்லது இந்த கோஷ்டியில் இருப்பவர்களாகிய எல்லாருக்கும் என்று சொல்கிறாயா, இல்லை பெண்களாகிய உங்களுக்கு சாத்தியமில்லை என்று சொல்கிறாயா என்று விளக்கமாய் கேட்டேன். When he said it, I have translated this passage, when he said it is impossible for you I have given within single quotes, and within brackets I have given honorific plural, so that the foreign readers, the English readers may get cleared of their doubt. I asked him clearly whether he meant to say that the you is an honorific reference to me or to the group of my friends or women in general. When the speaker of the text uses the honorific second person plural ungalukke, the listener in a fit of confusion asked the speaker vehemently whether he meant only her in his use of honorific reference, or he meant her team of friends by the pronoun ungalukke, or he meant the whole of women in general. She wants to get cleared of her doubt. When it is ambiguous to a listener of the same language, it is unimaginable what a lot of troubles and confusions it will create in the minds of the TL readers. Then the next point I have presented is the role of culture in the usage of pronouns. In a language like Tamil, instead of the second person singular pronoun, usually the second person plural pronoun is being used in interaction with the singular addressee in order to express deference, that is to give, if you want to give some respect to seniors, deference or non-familiarity. In the SL, ni as opposed to ningal is used to refer a familiar, younger and inferior person, whereas ningal, the second person plural pronoun, is generally used to address if the addressee is of a superior position or older in age. Culture also plays a role in the usage of pronouns in a language, because in the Tamil culture, a wife belonging to a respectable community cannot address her husband as ni, because ningal is a pronoun representing deference and non-familiarity. We can find a change in the Tamil cultural representations in the later part of the 20th century, and it may be due to the diffusion of Western culture. Even nowadays we find people, that is married couple, the wife may address the husband as ni. It is all due to the influence of the Western culture, a diffusion of culture. As a result, we could see wives addressing their husbands by names and by second person singular pronoun ni. This has been rightly observed by Mona Baker. The familiarity deference dimension in the pronoun system is among the most fascinating aspect of grammar and the most problematic in translation. The subtle choices involved in pronoun usage in languages which distinguish between familiar and non-familiar pronouns is further complicated by the fact that this use differs significantly from one social group to another, and that it changes all the time in a way that reflects changes in social values and attitudes. Another vital aspect to be noted is with regard to the use of the SL first person plural pronoun. Ningal in its pronominal honorific reference results in the inflection of verbs. Example, நீ எப்போது வந்தாய், that is in Tamil, and when I translate this question, I can translate this as when did you come. There is no change in the verb. And நீங்கள் எப்போது வந்தீர்கள், when it is singular, நீ எப்போது வந்தாய், when it is plural, நீ, and the verb is gets inflected. But in English we don't get that inflection. When did you come, when did you come, the same translation. So these are all the hurdles the translator has to face. The translator who translates from Tamil to English or vice versa has to be very cautious, especially while translating the pronouns. They must probe into the nuances of these two languages and make decisions along such dimensions as gender, degree of intimacy between participants. Otherwise, there arises a loss of information along the concerned dimensions. Then translation of kinsymptoms on the table number 3 and 4. Kinsymptoms. From the table 3 and 4 given above, there are differences between the SL and TL kinship terminology. Each time when a kinship term needs to be translated, the translator should consider carefully the referent in the non-linguistic world and how that person would be referred to, rather than simply translating literally the word that looks like the closest equivalent. Distinction in the collineal kinship terms between the SL and the TL. Translation of Tamil kinship terms into English will result in loss of information. The translator has to resort to some strategy to make up the loss of information in the TL text. In the SL, the collineal kinship terms like mama, chittappa have only one referent, uncle, in the TL. In Tamil we have mama, chittappa, but in English we have only, for these two are referred only as uncle. Likewise, the SL kinship terms like attai, mami, chitti, they have only one referent in the TL, that is aunt. Besides these items in the SL, the kinship term mami is also being used not only among relatives but in a friendly way also, especially when the non-Brahmins address the Brahmin ladies, they use mami, they used to call. Even the Brahmin ladies, when they are not related, they used to address each other as mami. I have given an example from the SL text. An example to this may be cited from the SL text. திரும்பி பார்த்தால் பக்கத்து வீட்டு சீதாலட்சுமி மாமி. Here that mami doesn't bear any relationship, but only a familiar reference. That is, the heroine used to call the neighboring lady as mami. When I turned, I saw our neighbor Sita Lakshmi aunty, I have translated. The speaker of the SL passage is addressing the lady of her neighboring house as mami. The use of the kinship